shotgun, a couple SMGs, looking to make some cash. And on the side of Ghost, care of the new money update. They've already got 2K. They're going to be saving out here. Get a full buy-in next round.
Yeah, it's pretty much the standard nowadays. You know, you only really see teams force on the CT side when they can set themselves up some favourable angles, at least as far as I've seen so far in the Pro League and some other matches that I've been watching. Still with the double flash, Kusa just got a flash and a smoke, seeing what they can make happen in this round. If anything, they're probably just looking to get the bomb down, try to bolster up their money so that they can buy more utility.
A big fan of the XM on Hut. It's always fun.
Never seen it work, mate.
You're memeing me. Surely.
No, I've literally
You've
never seen it.
Literally never seen it work? Alright. Hiko's done it a lot. In the Australian scene, Break and MC do it all the time because you just can't tell them what an M4 is. They won't listen to you. Other than that, sure. This is the Hiko play. We'll see what Android's got. Hopefully making some decent money.
Yeah, potential's there.
Ghost
especially against the unarmored players.
Yeah, exactly that. Ghost with 3 flashes and a smoke. Looks like they've got a little bit of a basic execute happening. They were going to get out and get this bomb down, but the CTs too have utility to waste the time.
Well, the longer they wait, the more utility they draw out, which is just going to force more utility to be repurchased from compLexity, more money down the drain. Steel's lining up the flashes here. See if it's going to actually catch Stanislaw or not. They don't. The second one does, though.
There's 1 kill at least, but Android's still here, and his teammates are now helping him out as well. It's all up to Steel. He's going to get 1 kill and the FAMAS in hand, but stuck in the smoke, not going to be able to do too much. Android will claim the kill with the XM in the end.
That's really good for the T's, though. They get 2 kills there. There's no bomb plant, but still plenty of money to be able to buy out and run most of the arrays of strats. Molotovs on Nuke not really being as important as your smokes and flashes for the most part. You don't need bulk amounts of them, you just need a few. Doesn't look like the T's are really going to be able to get any. Steel does drop down to a Galil though, which is something you see Ghost do a lot. You see them buy up lots of SMGs, lots of rifles that aren't AKs to be able to make sure they get enough utility. Def's going to open it up on outside, going aggressive to take out Wardell. They were lining up those mid-round smokes, rather than throwing them from spawn. That's a second from Def. Great work from him.
And now Shazam's here to back him up as well. Sub-Rosa will get 1 trade out, but can't quite find the spray. It's very close indeed.
Really great to see compLexity showing up to this game so far.
How is that a headshot?
So just ducks into it. But yeah, I mean, they're getting themselves off to a really good start on the CT side. It's a pretty convincing round, the last one. Despite losing 2 against the full Glock save, but they're going to get their economy going decently. I mean, compLexity have looked pretty flat since they came back from the major, but I mean, I'm hoping that they start to return to form, and this might be the beginning of that. Ghost only really having 1 opportunity to get into it. That's a spray down for Stanislaw. Hopefully he just gets out there and doesn't actually drop his weapon.
Oh. Double tech 9 kill comes in for Sub-Rosa, but Steel. PD-50 flash and bomb in hand, going for a plant if he can get it.
Yeah, he's already ready for him. I don't know if he's going to be able to stop him though, because he's wrapped around vent side.
Nope.
That plant's pretty big. It's going to allow Wardell to get an AWP if he wants one.
Steel in a very difficult situation in the 1 versus 3, but like you said, he's got the bomb down, and really that's the best that he could hope for in this situation, as the cleanup will be very easy for Cole. But 2 kills coming in for Ghost on that Tech 9 and the bomb plants as well. It's not bad for them. They will be able to get all of their rifles back in hand, as they've delayed the defuse enough for Ye to go grab an M4. So 3 rifles come through for compLexity, 4-0 on the board, but money stacking up very quickly for Ghost now.
compLexity as well. I mean, Ghost decided to build up the loss burners. compLexity are winning these rounds fairly convincingly. I mean, they've only lost 2 picks in either of the rounds, so you're starting to see Ye and Android, Def as well, build up quite a bit of money. Shazam's had to go for the AWP, you know, just about a 7k investment with all the gear he's got on his person. Actually going to go pretty fast into uppers here. We'll see if he's going to take a fast, aggressive peek in towards Hut, but no, he's just spotting it out at the start of the round, then going to move towards Heaven or Aircon to make some impact in the mid-round. Wardell just seeing if he can punish anybody, peeking aggressively from that warehouse area. And just a nice little spread from Ghost. They'll probably throw the mid-round smokes, mid-round wall of smokes from close outside, if they want to go down secret, or maybe they'll just smoke off Annex and start to try to prod the picks towards Heaven and maybe the windows while they hold onto that secret counter peak, I suppose.
There's Wardell finding the first. Here's something that's fun as well. Steals on the SG. Now it does only cost $50 more than the AK, so if you want it and you feel like you can play with it, there's really nothing stopping you now.
We've mostly seen a lot of IGLs pick that up as opposed to, you know, your fraggers and stuff like that. Although the main person I've seen take it who's got a big amount of firepower to him is Elite on Liquid's been buying it pretty much non-stop.
I'm pretty sure... I'm not sure if they have been, but I know there was certainly talk between Elige, Magisk, and NBK that all of them were going to be getting on the Krieg hype. But here comes the push into the A-bomb site. Utility out. 3 players waiting around this area. Shazam's going to find the first one from Heaven. An Android distraction from the back side as well. Shazam continuing to get work done, and already Ghost has been completely halted here. Kusa's going to find one, but 20 seconds left. They've got to find a way to get this bomb down, and Ye's already moving in to hold this angle. With the help of Stan, they're going to be able to lock it down. Ghost, only 2 kills again in a full gun round. And they put a lot of money into that one.
I think this is a complexity that we all wanted to see come into this game against Ghost and make things really competitive. And, you know, Ghost definitely has plenty of room to be able to keep this game a bit closer than it has been so far. They've got plenty of strats in the old strat book. It's just about whether they're going to start to employ some of them. Fast smoke's coming out of the outer. That's the wall from T-spawn while pressure is applied through door. 4 people going down secret while 1 person holds onto lobby and spams. I imagine he's going to go late through round to add another arm to this push. But Ye, very quick on the rotate. At the major, he was absolutely critical playing these kind of positions around window, and he gets a pick. That's 2 picks away of Cole already.
And they're already getting in to stop this push. Great shot from Neptune there on the entry, but Ye already lurking around through this smoke, being a constant threat. Ghost having to hold onto a bomb site that they barely have control of. That's a critical engagement, critical miss. Neptune able to find one onto Shazam. That gives him some control of ramp. Stan's coming this way as well, but now into a 3v3. Ye again being able to do bulk damage there in the halls. And Neptune's not going to worry about his back at the right time. I don't think the timing's going to go his way. Stan misses it, but we'll get it done. And now Sub Rosa trying to play the bomb. Might actually get away with 2 here. Holds his fire. Spots 2. Goes for the spray down. Gets them both. Now he can play time. There's almost no time left on this bomb. I don't think Stan's going to have the time. He does get the kill, but Android's molly that he dropped when he...
Wouldn't have mattered anyway.
It wouldn't have mattered.
No way he was going to get that defuse.
Android was holding the molly to drop it into decon when he got shot in the back, and then it kills his teammate. But I think it's much of a muchness. The round was
really just
lost.
Neptune making the play there to get off the bomb site and go take that fight in Megaton and make it much harder for compLexity to come in very quickly on that retake from multiple angles. He makes a massive impact getting those frags towards Megaton, and then Sabrosa, obviously a bit of a mistake from compLexity not to check that new box. Oh, I don't know how new it is now. It's been in there for a month or 2, at least.
Here's a question for you. That first smoke that Ghost throw out is to drop off the fence that lands front red. Is that where they're meaning to land that? Because the last 2 times I've seen them throw it, they've bumped each other and it's gone short. So I don't know if it's meant to be deeper or if the bump doesn't matter because it's meant to land close anyway.
You can kind of scuff it a little bit, but for the most part, you obviously just want it to block off the AWPer from picking you on the cross or someone running close annex like a rifler to pick you as you try to cross the CT red. First picks are going the way of compLexity every single round. It's making things very difficult for Ghost unless some of their players can make big plays like we've seen Sub Rosa doing. Bomb plants denied again, and that's a 2-pick advantage in the favor of compLexity for I feel like what's been the 2nd or the 3rd time in these gun rounds. Bomb still does go down, and this lowers bomb site is very difficult to retake even if you have an advantage. And we're seeing that now. Kusta opens things up, makes it a 3-on-3.
2 players pushing in through secret here, and both going to be spotted, but the frags do go the way of the T side in the end. Now Kusta into the 1v1 as the trades come through. Def does have a lot of time to go for this, and he's just going to straight up stick the bomb. Kusta has to peek it, not going to peek it. Doesn't get out there in time. Def just holds the defuse, plays the mind game, and Kusta not quick enough to check it. So compLexity still back around that they probably shouldn't have been able to get away with, but they will do it. And 6-1 now.
They've kind of been putting themselves in advantageous situations every single time. It feels like at least the first pick, if not the first 2, goes their way every single gun round. But Ghost, I mean, once they get down into that lower bomb site, it's quite difficult for compLexity to be able to come in for the retake. I don't know if Kusta knows that he only has a Glock. It's going to be an uppers rush though, Tim.
Surely, I mean, he's bought util. I was going to say, maybe he's saving for an AWP, but like, what else the AWPer? Well, good money for Android, 2 kills on the shotgun, and the bait and switch works out. Steel's just going to get a plant. Mission successful.
I don't know if that's going to be a buy, though, for Ghost.
Considering how much they put into this round to make it
They're
happen.
only on their first loss bonus. I don't think that's going to be a buy for them, Tim.
Because they put in a lot into this round to actually be able to afford it.
Neptune's
like
got 0, Steel's got 300. They got, how much is it for the bomb plant?
It's 800 per player and 300 for the planner.
They're only on their second loss bonus now. That was their second, so.
Yeah, that's a bit of a weird investment. If the plan the
Booster
whole
didn't
time...
even have a... He only had a Glock.
Yeah, he had a Glock
and he had 2,500 in
and
the
some
back.
util. He bought util, but not a gun. If the plan was just to make some noise uppers and allow Steel to get the bomb down lower, then you probably didn't need to put as much into it as you did.
I mean,
if the plan was to make a serious buy out of it.
That obviously just went really badly for them.
Oh,
they got wiped 4-0, and then Steel was just like, well...
Guess I'll plant the bomb. See if the Deagles can get anything done, though, as Coastal moves to take some outers control, but 7-1, the CT side certainly going very, very well for complexity here, and Ghost not really seeing a performance from them today that we're expecting so far.
Yeah, I mean, they don't necessarily have to get off to a really hot start on the T side. They can just try to grind out 4 or 5 rounds and see where they can go from there. Obviously, complexity is looking pretty hot coming into this game so far, but you know, how long can they keep that going for?
Question, isn't it? Goose is going to try and make his play out towards ramp, and he has hit the timing, but Ye's up on boost, which he's not ready for, so
it's good to see complexity coming in with this form, because they need to start recovering their Pro League standings for one. And number 2, I would imagine, in terms of NA qualifiers, complexity might not be your first choice of invitees. You'd be looking at, you know, your Cloud9, despite their sort of struggles, your Liquids and stuff like that. So if they're going to have to come through online qualifiers, they're going to have to play a team like Ghost pretty regularly, I would have to say, which means that you want to put them in their place as soon as possible. Try to establish yourself as the dominant team so that you can get used to the matchup, and maybe that's going to, in the future, get you some more spots in tournaments. But we're seeing this round get a very, very messy.
If that kill goes through, that's the bomb planted and potentially a win, because that would have been like a 2v3. But unfortunately, they lose it all, and
it's a question of damage,
fortunately for Sub Rosa, he goes down before the round ends. But yeah, they do drop a couple guns, and Stanislaus not able to upgrade his UMP. They do have tons of money, though.
That's alright, plenty of places where he can utilise that weapon to its fullest extent, but he's going to upgrade, yeah. They have pretty good money. So far, Wardell hasn't really done a whole lot. Shazam's been pretty impactful, especially from Heaven, multi-fragging people in on the upper rush. Another pretty spread out one as Wardell cops a bit of a grenade on the outside, but not too much of one. He's just looking for anybody over peaking. We've already seen him punish Def, try to get a bit aggressive in that part of the map for once already. That nade should do quite a bit of damage, and it does to Neptune. Smacks him for 38. It's going to sting a little bit. Shazam picks up Neptune on the silo there, so Onus is now on Ghost to start to make a play and try to find some kind of advantage, whether that be in the map control factor or whether that be someone finding a pick.
And Kusta wanted to hold that ramp push, but now he's been baited out, having to go back and fight Lobby. And
Android's looking too sharp today.
I was going to say, even if he'd won that, he had to be worried about the ramp flank. But Android, as you say, very nice headshot. Great accuracy from him. Sub Rosa has found his way on the top of Hut, but all the players are now behind them, holding down that bomb as well.
It's not often you see Wardell go 2 for 9.
No.
But it's the kind of thing that can happen to you on the T side of Nuke.
You cursed him. You said he drops 30 every single game, and now he's got 28
curse, mate. I said complexity, no chance they're showing up. Ghost is going to be easy 16-4. Here we are. Complexity's already got double the amount of rounds I predicted them to get.
What if you get the 16-4 right, but it's for complexity? I'd be very surprised if Ghost only got 4 rounds here. Very surprised indeed. Def's got this kill though. Alright, Def.
They're just all looking super sharp, super on point. The focus is there. I feel like maybe it's a thing where I actually didn't believe this complexity roster was going to be able to come back into the region and keep the same form at the major. I mean, historically, we've seen the Stanislaus sort of teams and stuff like that have really hot streaks where they do well at one tournament or a few tournaments in a row, and then they sort of peter off and have some problems.
Yep.
The optics, your Liquids and stuff like that, but maybe he's learnt his lessons at this point and he's going to really make something of this complexity team other than just the major, obviously.
Well, I mean, on that, all of these players, from what I've seen on Twitter and whatnot, seem to be really happy to be playing for Cole. It seems to be like a really good environment for them. Shazam going to be tested, but ooh, actually no, the jump spot does give him away. That's an AWP in the hands of Wardell.
Uh-oh. That's not something you want to see.
Oh dear, this is the round where Wardell shows up. We
Yep.
cursed him saying that he got 30. We did it the other way by saying he wasn't doing anything. Now he's going to show up. Steel has a perfectly timed flank here to help mop this up. This pistol round should be going the way of Ghost here.
And I mean, complexity's up 9-1, but every single time it goes into a lowers situation for Ghost and complexity seem to be up 5-on-3, but really struggle to close out the round. So if Ghost are getting the picks and they're going into the lower bomb site, I feel like it's going to be pretty hard for complexity to actually win those rounds because, you know, if every situation where you're in a 5-on-3 and the bomb gets planted low, it comes down into a 1v1 or a 2v2 or whatever, clearly there's some issues and some problems happening where you're trying to retake the lower bomb site, and Ghost is doing a really good job of picking you on the entry before you can really trade it out. Dear Lord, Android. That is so much damage. Took away an extra rifle, took away an extra AWP.
I mean, I'm not sure they would have kept the double AWP coming into this round anyway, but...
They would have had to, Tim. Like, they just don't have the money to be able to play around and keep rebuying and stuff. They're down 9-2.
Well, I mean,
There's certain ways you can use it. You can go pick height, you can go pick ramp, you can maybe get the silo and lower or picks going.
Either way, they just had to rebuy 3 guns, 4 guns.
Yep.
They would have only had to rebuy 2, even with replacing the AWP, if they'd kept 4 players up. So maybe it could have worked for them, but now, once again, Steel going to take that Galil in hand. Lots of damage coming in. Kusta double entry. 3 versus 4 now, but 2 players fast up into heaven. The rotation's very quick from complexity, but
what a shot.
Finally the counter picks come in. Wardell denies Shazam.
There it
is. That's the name we've been waiting for. Now Yay 1v3.
Good little mix-up from Ghost. They've been hitting lowers a lot, and now they just go for the fast contact through Annex into uppers. Works out beautifully for him.
And Yay's backing off to save. Doesn't like his chances of winning this one, so he's just going to back off into T-spawn. Hold on to that M4. His team actually aren't so great on the money, despite being up 9-2. They've had a lot of close rounds. Def and Android do have a lot of money in the bank, but
we saw it yesterday, Tim.
Struggling.
Saw it yesterday between Renegades and MRBR. Renegades is up 8-0, and they lost the game 16-3 from that point. Yeah. MRBR just 16-3'd them from being down 8-0, so definitely possible for Ghost to go for a bit of resurgence here, especially if they're able to break Complexity's money, maybe throw in a couple creative strats on the T side, and then they move into their CT side, where as long as they stop Complexity from getting up to 11, 12 rounds, they can be in a pretty comfortable position to be able to grind this game out. And even if Complexity catches them off guard with that uppers rush we saw at the Major, or maybe some creative strategies here or there, they'll have room to be able to make a mistake or two on the CT side and be able to recover from that economically or otherwise.
Very close shot for Wardell had to make here.
It's clear that he's not aware. Stanislaw is there, so it's only a matter of time. As long as Stanislaw doesn't make a play here.
If Stan walks into this line, then Wardell, I think, is fast enough to hit it. But the other thing is, if Wardell gets any other peek, even if he gets a kill, I didn't even realize that Neptune was past him. Goodness me. There's the trade from Wardell.
Yeah.
So that's good. Could have been a much worse situation for them if they couldn't retain control of that.
Def's already in lowers, though, so it's actually looking a lot more like this is probably going to be a heavy play towards Annex. Maybe seeing one of these players on outside fall back to lobby with the bomb. See Ye on the fast rotate. He's just playing elbow, probably going to be heading up towards heaven if you do see an outer play. But if they start to put pressure on outside and take warehouse like we're seeing here, it might be very difficult for Complexity to react to this one. That Shazam picking one, that's going to draw the aggro away for Def to come up secret. And it's beautiful from Complexity. Playing off each other amazingly, understanding the rotations and how the Ts are going to react to where the kills come down. And Android completely ready for Kusta to creep out hut there. There's only a limited amount of spots that you're really going to expect that last player for Ghost to be. They can't all be outside. That's going to be way too one-dimensional, right?
Yeah, it wouldn't be the greatest of plays, but that's what they went for. So Complexity, as you say, playing off each other really well, looking really good so far in this match. This is a bit more of the Major Complexity. This is a bit more of what we wanted to see after their run at the Major. Everyone was hoping that maybe this was when they were back into things, and they're certainly looking pretty good so far. I mean, it's online, it's 1 best of 1, but the form has improved. We'll see if they can carry this through. I was going to say to Inferno, but really to the second half is what matters. If they can get a 10-5, even a 12-3 here, and they can't convert it on their T side, then it's not going to matter.
Well, this is last chance really for Ghost. If they don't win this round, then they're about to get shut out of this game, because you're looking at a broke money in the next round for the Ts. compLexity's probably looking at a 12-3 at that point, and then, you know, we've already seen them have such a good T side at the major. We know that the depth, like, they have some pretty good strats that can catch people off guard. Maybe they'll lose a bit of depth at some point, but they are very good also at going into that lower bomb site and trying to resolve things. Here comes the ramp play, Tim.
Does indeed, and Ye stands ready for it. The first kill is easy, the player's tagged, but the spray will come through, and Ye will lose his hold of ramp. Wardell's waiting for this counter peek as well, but the timing, here's the player push behind. Got a pretty good read on what's going on, but now Def has free reign to peek this one and steal while he's close, and he has the P250.
This is really well disciplined for compLexity. They could try and just crunch in and end this round, but they understand that they have everything and Ghost have nothing. Ramp's not the bomb site. They're going to have to make their way into uppers, even if they make their way into lowers and put themselves in some kind of a place plant. compLexity have just so many members that can make rotations around the map. You can rotate around one through secret. Obviously, the entrance to the bomb site and vent is not really a thing anymore, so compLexity can safely go down vent and take decon or control room, as well as come down secret, maybe late through Megaton. There would just be far too many angles for Ghost to deal with in the 2-on-4. It would have to be some pretty special stuff from Wardell to be able to close that round out. But none of that even happens. compLexity just hold control of pretty much everything apart from maybe lowers, and Ghost couldn't have known that there wasn't anybody on lowers, and now they're completely broke going into this last round. Just a Tech 9 buy. They're actually all using the Tech 9, interestingly enough.
Except Steel, but he wanted some extra use though. But yeah, the Tech 9's in a bit of a resurgence. It's been buffed a little bit, the CZ's been nerfed a little bit. That's enough for players to start switching to it. Fast vent drop coming through for Sub Rosa, but they know he's down there. That missed smoke buys him a little bit of time, but I don't think that's quite where he wanted it to land. Would have liked it to go outside hut and help his teammates out. Sub Rosa also getting destroyed by Ye there, holding the line. So the pistols really not working here for Ghost. 2 versus 5, P250 and a Tech 9. At least they have the bomb in their control, but this one's looking very much like a 12-3 CT half for compLexity Gaming. Looking very good indeed, and Ghost not able to answer too well. Now, they will get onto this lower bomb site, and they will be able to get the bomb down, but Ye can go straight down secret as soon as he hears all of this. His teammates helping him clear out as the bomb will go down in the smoke. But while compLexity have struggled at retaking this lower bomb site, a 5v2 against a couple pistols, I don't think will be too much of a big deal for them. And to see though, they are starting their rotation quite slowly. That gives Ghost a bit of time to play with. Get some post-plan positions happening, but compLexity now starting to group up. They're going to go in together here. They've got utility for every single corner. Steel's trying to play the post-plant, but can't find the kill against Shazam. Now it's all on Wardell. He's been smoked out. They know where he's coming from. They're already on this diffusers. Nothing we can do. Shazam will grab the final kill, and 12-3. compLexity domination on the CT half.
Yeah, well, whenever you see a 12-3 half like that, it's going to be extremely difficult for Ghost. I mean, you always say the classic, oh, it's CT side Nuke. Surely they can come back, right? Unfortunately, the nature of Counter-Strike is that, as we all know, the CT economy is very fickle, very prone to being broken, very prone to moving you into some situations where you're going to have to force up pistols or force up, you know, some UMPs or something like that and try to win against fully AKing terrorists who can pretty much do whatever they want to you. So all it takes is for you to get caught off by one strategy here or there, or for compLexity to keep the rounds nice and close, and they're going to put you in a position where it's very, very difficult to come back into the game and actually grind it all the way back to OT or to the win. Very little room for error. And that's not just error in terms of being able to win round after round, that's error in terms of being able to win rounds that are very, very clean, right?
Yeah, certainly so. And on a slightly, well, relatively related note, I'm very surprised by how skewed those odds are against Ghost. I really would have thought that more people would be on the Ghost train, as it were. But
Hashtag
no.
Ghost Train. Everybody get on the Ghost Train. That's got to be the
train?
new Twitter thing.
No, not in this series. We're doing train in our last series of the day, but not between these two teams. So no Ghost Train jokes today.
Yeah.
And Ghost Nuke just doesn't have the same. That'd be terrifying. Ghost Nuke, is it like a spooky nuke that can go through walls, or does it explode and ghosts go everywhere?
I mean, Halloween is coming up.
It's like Pandora's box, but full of ghosts. Maybe that's what Ghosts need, just like an extra 50 players.
Ghosts need
just do like
to
a 55-man roster.
Those need to pull off a very insane comeback. That's what they need to do.
They certainly do. So let's see what they've got for us here in the pistol. A couple flashbangs and a kit for Kusta. Armor for everyone else, looking pretty standard. And complexity, 2 players with full belts of util. So let's see what they've got in mind for us with that.
Looking like a hot molly from Android. It's a very quick one.
ASAP play to get down vents. Looks to be the go, but Steel's found 2. Playing through the edge of that smoke from NX. Even pushes through a little bit too aggressively. Stan catches him out, and Android knows that both these players are coming, and it's clean as you like.
Firmware heavily updated. I think we're looking at X24 at this point.
Certainly so. And Ghost now, from what was a great situation, 5-on-3 into 2-on-3, care of some quick headshots coming in from Android. Definitely going to get found out by Sabrosa, but he'll get away as well. Now they can just start to play the time. The kit's still alive on Kusto, so I guess that's something, but he's alone in a 1v3. Doesn't even have a smoke to use, just a flashbang, and I feel like this one's all but done. Stan going to hit the final shot, 13-3. Looking like curtains on Nuke at this point.
Yep. Maybe they will get 16 forward.
That would be...
It's not the way that I thought it was gonna go.
The full realization of the caster's curse would be if Ghost win around here, like they get this double scout shotgun buy happening and manage to win, and then they just lose the rest of the game. I mean, this is the advantage of the force buy in the second round if you do have to go for it when you don't save. Normally, in the previous meta, a second round force buy would be maybe 1 scout, no armor, a bunch of pistols, but they've got a shotgun and armor on Steel, they've got a couple pistols and armor with utility on Neptune and Sub Rosa, and then of course scouts with util as well, or at least a single flash on Kusta and Wardell. So the buy is not too bad. They can do a lot of damage, but they're going up against 2 AKs, 3 SMGs, which is certainly a combo that packs a punch, but that's what we like to see from Wardell. Excellent start from him. One of the AKs down.
And that's most of Outer's control. I mean, you're seeing Stanislaw now trying to come up and grab the AK.
That's the AK. Going to fight it with a Glock. Looks like he will just smoke off Wardell so we can get that thing safely, but Android's just copped a scout tag as well, so both the AKs taking some damage early on, and Wardell wants so badly to go through this and try and stop him getting the AK, but he won't be able to.
A lot of utility expended just to grab the AK, though.
Yeah, they certainly did have to use... I think it was a HE, a flash, and a smoke to get that thing back, so... They've got it back in their hands, but Ghost with a 1-man advantage. Android tagged down very low as well. Not a really big concern for him because he can just swap that AK off to one of his teammates, but Ye, in the meantime, has walked all the way in through uppers. Steel's managed to find a frag, and he is ignoring Ye so hard. He's got 2 kills with the shotgun. Sub Rosa is going to come through with that AK as well now. All onto Shazam. 1v5, 28 HP, UMP in hand, but surely not much he can do here. Wardell will swing out with the USP and close it. And no one drops for Ghost, and they get 2 kills on that shotgun, so Steel has a bunch of money.
Kevin was talking to me yesterday a lot about how many Canadians you have in your team, how much of an impact that makes. I think we're pretty heavily disproving that at this point.
Well, I mean,
complexity is 1 Canadian versus like, how many is it? 2? 3? 3 from most.
3. I think Steel,
Wardell and Sub.
Steel, Wardell and Sub Rosa, yeah. And then it's
Stanislaw,
Stan. And you know, we're trying out the Brit as well. Getting your boy.
Kev was like brainstorming how many full Canadian rosters you could make that would actually be good though yesterday, and I was like, think about it. Actually, a lot of talent.
That used to. Ooh, that's nice from Kusta. That used to be a thing, like for things like West G, where you have to have all one team rosters. Team Canada would actually be pretty decent if they made it.
Pretty stacked.
Yeah, pretty stacked. But for now, complexity. I mean, I don't think they have too much to do in this round with just the pistols against 3 versus 4 against guns, but they're going to get the bomb down at least. This is something that Ghost managed to pull off a lot on their T side, getting into lower, getting the bomb down. As long as Ye isn't allowed too much space to work with here. If he gets 1 kill, the trade has to be immediate.
For sure, yeah. He won't even get 1 though, because Wardell things. Good utility usage from Ghost, trying to minimize the risks of coming into this bomb site.
Now they've got Lewis get on this bomb. That's a really nice way of denying a defuse. There's actually really not much time here at all. That smoke's faded. This is really dangerous now. Sub Rosa's just about going to cover it. That defuse will just about tick through in time, I think.
Yep.
There it is. But that was A near thing from compLexity. That nearly worked out for them. The nade and
Yeah.
the spam onto the bomb
And they're
diffuser.
keeping the money from Ghost nice and low.
Exactly.
The only reason it's going so well at the moment is because they won that second round force. We're able to
And
upgrade
they
a few
got
guns.
bulk kills with the shotgun in there as well, which is why
True.
Steel's economy is still so good.
Yep. compLexity looking to do more damage, and it's nice to see. You know, it's very entertaining for to see Ghost start to run down the round count a little bit more. Run it up rather, not run it down. But I don't know. I don't know how well they're going to be able to win the game from this point. It just feels like a matter of time.
Yeah, it's an awful lot of rounds against them. That's nice from
The timing
Kusta,
from
though.
Kusta.
That's bomb down
He
too.
knows that Shazam's down lower, and he doesn't rush to sort of deny it. He's just like, I know how many seconds it'll take for him to get down decon.
I know exactly when he can be crossing, and it's now.
A wizard arrives precisely when he means to. Right,
Exactly.
Tim?
Exactly. And I don't think there's going to be too much damage gained by compLexity this round. Maybe if they could have got that bomb down in the early couple seconds there, they could have tried to play out a extended post plant. They would have had players pretty much all over the map, so it would have been a bit of a weird retake for Ghost, but now not a concern with the bomb down on the B site. Wardell playing safely here. Doesn't want to go too far in and get caught out by a pistol. Still holding the correct angle, though. This would be a heck of a thing for Android to pre-fire. And as soon as he peeks too far out, ooh, this is actually a bit of a problem. Wardell's been baited in, has to go to the deagle and won't be able to save himself.
It's just not fair. He's an android. He's got bionic legs. He can shoulder pick too good, Tim.
Lieutenant Dan got bionic legs.
It's like that thing from like iRobot where you see like Sunny or whatever do like the full cartwheels.
Yeah, it's just like, that's not fair. It's not a thing that's allowable. So compLexity, 20 seconds left, but 2 guns in hand. Most likely the save is the way to go for them. But that's all right. I mean, they come out of this with 2 kills, saving both guns from that. No bomb plant, but this will help. They're going to have a decent bit of money to work with after this round with those 2 guns being saved through. So, well, Ghost will get another win. compLexity continuing to pile on the pressure.
A1S. Pretty puke-worthy IMO.
I saw a thing about this, actually.
The God B thing.
I saw a thing about this, that God B supposedly is playing the M4A1 for situations where he wants to have a silencer, and then where he wants to have a 30-bullet A4, he buys an AUG.
Interesting.
Which is like, I feel like that's a pretty cool way of adopting the new prices and the new meta. So we're back. I'm not sure what the issue is, but the game's obviously had a bit of a pause, so hello.
I mean, it's that classic thing where it's like, that, you know, you're thinking really in depth and you're like, wow, maybe in this niche situation the A1S is better. But then I go in my brain, but the A1S is just not better. So,
I mean, that's fair. I guess there are a few situations where it works, and you have both options viably now. Like, unless you're the kind of guy who really wants to buy a decoy all the time and therefore can't buy the AUG, now that it's like only $50 more, you can do both. Is that look because you buy a decoy every round and you have decoy strats, Mr.
No.
Pilly the IGL?
Although, that is something that I tried to do a long time ago, and it was just one of those situations where we were like playing Mirage. This was like 2014, and I'm like, you couldn't quite get a full buy. So I was like, all right, everyone throw your decoys like out A, like you would throw your normal standard smokes before you actually execute, and let's see how many Molotovs they actually throw. No Molotovs were thrown, and then I just go, well, clearly they just don't have any utility, right? Like their money's kind of low, so they must not have any util whatsoever. Let's just like contact out, just like one flash, contact out, you know, don't even throw the smokes because they don't have any util to like sort of stop us coming out, right? Kind of makes sense. Negative, they just didn't throw anything.
And then they destroyed
They just
you.
Molotoved,
Well,
counter-flashed us, we all died, we lost the qualifier, the end.
See, I was going to say, with strats like that, Pilly, maybe you could make your way to Odense, which is where these teams are trying to go. But maybe not because it didn't work out. But still, you can go to join some of these teams at Odense if you want. Tickets available somewhere online. You can find them at this arena. Pilly, best attempt at that arena. What's it called? Go. Go. How do you pronounce that?
Clearly, the Spare Cassin Finn Arena.
That was, I think, the least European attempt you could have gone for. Cool. Someone can tell us how wrong we are. But yeah, you can go over to Odense and join the top teams from this league. Of course, not all of them will make it through, but everyone will be looking to, and that's where the playoffs are. I think it was Dallas last season, then Odense again the season before that. So returning to somewhere that it's been before, but that should be good fun if you do make it over.
Any of those Scandinavian languages, or even like German, which I learnt a little bit of high school for a few years. Whenever you see one of the
German
longest...
count as Scandinavian?
No, I said, or even German.
Okay.
That's why I didn't include it bulk into with all the Scandinavian languages, Tim.
Continue your point.
Plus, German and Danish is like, you know, there's some similarity,
No,
surely, right?
if you're going to pick languages, I think it's Danish and Swedish sort of quite similar.
Yeah, I know those two are similar. But
anyway, sorry, you were saying.
whenever you see like a longer word, I just go like yes. And then if it's even something that like doesn't have the little symbols above it, like the little annotations or
like
whatever you call them.
Umlaut and all that sort of thing. It's the only one I know, and that's like the line. I don't know what the 2 dots is called.
Whenever I see one of those, I just go yes. But if it's all just normal characters, I'm just like, well, just give that a go.
Give it a go.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, well, I mean...
Oh, and anything that has J's in it, you just give up.
Look, at least we've got Odense down now. It took us a few seasons, but we got there.
Odense.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure first season we were like, all right, guys, who wants to go to Odense? And then someone was like, Odense. So we said that, and that was wrong too. But I think we're right now. We're probably not, because we're Australians, and European things are really difficult.
Oh, butchering things is our speciality.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
But you know what else you can do, Pilly? Do you want to know what else you can do? I know that you know what's coming and you're not sure what it is.
I could do anything, Tim.
Well, here's what you can do in this case, Pilly. You can play faster with Vodafone.
Okay. I
So
mean,
they have speedy gamer.
Yeah, they have some pretty good speeds on some of their like 4G stuff, right? You know, you get your little dongle out because everyone knows that Australian internet just doesn't work. I mean, for me personally, Tim, I get like less than 1 Mbps or whatever,
Hey,
so
Pilly,
I just got to load up the dongle for everything.
When I started this sponsor shout out, I really didn't want to talk about your little dongle. You know, like that wasn't where I saw this plug going.
All right, Tim.
But it went there in the end. Anyway, yeah, if you want to play faster with Vodafone, you can do that. Just like these players are trying to play faster, as in get back into the game faster, as hopefully we'll be doing that soon. I think they're just doing some quick match medicing, not sure why, but calling in Mr. Match Doctor.
Medic.
Medic, help. Is there? I know Match Medic's a piece of software, but if there was a guy whose job was to be a medic for a game,
well,
what
that
would
was
his
meant
name
to
be?
be Kevin's job when he was running a certain qualifier that I was playing.
Hey, whoa, right. Let's not do that. The man's like retiring soon. Give him a chance. Give him a chance.
Need to fire as many shots as I can before he's not around to
Yeah, before he's not around to respond, yeah. oh, now I'm
Usually
sad.
it'd be the other way around, but I'm ready for a fight. Fisticuffs outside after every cast.
Square Gorlak. All right, Pilly wants to square up. Cool. Well, I think we are getting very close to jumping back into Nuke here. I think things are just about resolved, and we'll shortly be back in game after a brief period of shenanigans and sponsor callouts, everyone's favorite interludes in games. But look, I'm not sure Ghost are going to have too much more life in this comeback. They've managed to get a few rounds together, but it's been expensive for them pretty much every single time. In that last round, compLexity managed to save 2 guns, so they should be able to pull off a buy here, so this could be a bit interesting. But let's see.
Oh my god. That's not what I wanted to see.
That's the 6th player. The 6th! Who is it? Oh dear.
He's in a pretty
Mysteries.
He's in a pretty explicit
No,
stance
that's
there.
called comfort.
Oh yes.
The PG stream, Pilly.
This is how I fall asleep every night.
Oh man, I'll talk about this later because it's a gun round, but I'm seeing something related to that. Anyway, compLexity with the guns that they saved, able to get a buy together here, and yeah, you're gonna find the first kill. Subrosa on the trade, but Android immediately.
All I hear is little bursts of AKs, and then I see deaths and kill
Headshots, yeah. Ooh, Kusta forced out by the molly, but I don't know how the heck that engagement works out. 9 HP for Kusta though, 1 versus 2. compLexity turning up the heat here on Nuke. Just 3 rounds from getting the win, and Kusta's just made, actually, with that shot, trying to mask his fall onto Hut, but still, so many angles to second guess, and still hasn't
actually
made
not
noise.
easy to make those jumps silent, but he just flawlessly does it.
Too easy for Kusta, and he still hasn't made a footstep. He's actually found quite a lot of territory here.
Listen to that ambient wind whistling sound on a lowers area.
You're an ambient
We're
wind whistling
inside.
sound. Yeah, but wind is like, if it's coming in through out of here, then it's going to be like going down into all the corridors where it gets trapped and therefore makes whistling noises. This is how science works.
Thanks, weatherman.
No worries. Call me Yanko. Either way, Kusta, unlucky. Did make a nice play to get back in there, but couldn't get anything done. What I was going to talk about with that posture, by the way, is I remember seeing a thing that's like, how to tell if you're stressed when you sleep, and it was like, if you sleep on your stomach, if you sleep on your back or your side, you're normal. If you sleep on your stomach, you're a little bit stressed. If you sleep literally crouched like a lion, you might have something going on. And I was like, oh, does anyone actually sleep like that ever? Because it probably is indicative of actual problems in their life if you sleep like crouched on all fours.
Sounds like a bit of a BuzzFeed article to me.
No, I don't look at those. I consider myself better than that. I'm not, but I consider myself that way.
Easy there.
This round's falling by the wayside. Did actually get a few guns up into it, but Ghost are just not able to return anything that compLexity are doing.
That's what I told you already, Tim. You know, I called this the old upper rush that absolutely wrecked big. The second that the Ghost isn't ready for that, this game's over, and it's exactly what we see.
So this is going to be 15 on the board for compLexity. Ghost saving 3 guns, but not able to contest. Going to have to get on that 9-round grind for overtime.
Negative. Enjoy looking at the FBI models while it lasts.
What, you think they're going to remove them?
No.
Or just that Nuke's going to be over soon?
Nuke's going to be very over soon.
Very over, not just over. Several over. Much over. Many over. Okay, I'm done. So too is the bomb timer though as it goes off. I mean, not quite. One more round, maybe, for compLexity. But
I was talking about your tangent.
Oh, yeah, I can be over. That's fine. We'll cancel me for the day.
Cool.
But look, Ghost, not living up to the expectations I had of them.
Come on, where are your Ghost puns, Tim?
I don't have any. It's not Halloween yet.
Get there.
It's not. It's, if they got some more rounds, I would have been like, this is a bit of a spooky comeback, but I've only got a couple. There's Wardello starting off the right way, so maybe there's something in this round. Apparently, all we have to do is mention that it's not going well, and they'll get kills. So maybe if we just really mean to Ghost now, they can make the comeback happen. But compLexity,
they're all outside, so it's they got to just basically get picks on Ghost players overextending, which is potentially possible with Steel on this little off angle. There you go.
Yeah, he just destroys
Imagine if he transferred that.
I mean, that would have been sick. Kusta gets one, but gets traded. Now Wardell out in the open. Shadow spotted, and Shazam finds the frag.
This was a 5 on what?
4. Yep. Yeah. 5 on 4, then Steel died, then they got one trade, and then everyone else died. And now
that is pretty
Neptune and
spooky.
Sub rose up with MP9s all alone.
Well, they have each other until they're both murdered.
Wow. All right, Android. Managing to grab the final 2 frags, 16-6, I believe, in the end. Ghost not able to get much of a comeback happening. Only 3 rounds in the second half. compLexity, a really good performance on Nuke.
Yep. And now I get that HLTV guy in the comments saying, haha, idiot caster, about my prediction.
Don't we get that anyway?
Yeah. I mean, it really doesn't matter what we say. I can say anything at this point.
It's like, haha, idiot. That's you. You're an idiot.
I know.
Got him. Tweet at him, at PillyCSGO, and call him an idiot. Don't do that. I'm not encouraging cyberbullying. Come
on, mate. You're already shielded enough for the sponsors. You don't have to plug my Twitter as well. Okay?
You want to sponsor that?
True.
All right, let's look at some highlights. This is going to be a lot of compLexity.
Yeah.
In the end, it was a pretty simple game.
Yeah, Ghosts didn't really show up. They were just disappearing. Right, Tim?
Spooking out.
That was pretty spooky.
Look, lame jokes aside, this was a very good performance from compLexity. It's good to see them back to this level. Yeah,
they've been pretty flat so far in Pro League. I've been pretty unimpressed. I've been scared that like that compLexity from the major just might not exist anymore. But I've been proven very wrong. Android went absolutely ham. All of the rifles in general from compLexity, when they're on point, it's like they go aggressive, they hold angles, and they just don't miss. Like, you see Def get those double kills. You see people, like, look at this from Android. Like, it's just like, you're on my screen, you will be deleted. It's just him smashing the delete button.
I'd actually like to know how many kills he wound up on in the end there, because I just saw, at this point, we were, what, 13 rounds in on that last highlight? He was already, like, 16-3 or something.
I don't think he got 30, but I would have said, like, high 20s. Yeah.
Surely. I'm amazed how close this was as well. That's a really good way of doing that. Rather than wasting all of your pistol ammo on holding the post plant, just chuck the nail and hope the spam works out for you. But I don't even know where that kill comes from there, but look, it happened. I think maybe we switched to Shazam at the last moment, and that's why it looked like it was weird with that swing, but whatever. Android gets the last 2 kills. Not sure how many he ended up on, but we'll find out in the break, and that can be a fun little bit of content for everyone.
Surely with compLexity starting on the CT side, that was Ghost map pick, so that's pretty spooky.
Yeah, potentially. I think the video format's a little bit different this time in Pro League, so I'm not sure exactly how it works, but you could assume that it's because they did get to pick that CT side, so who knows? Either way, it's going to be compLexity coming away with the win on map 1, and look, not the greatest showing from Ghost, unfortunately.
No, and it's one of the only times that we have seen that from them. You can't really be too upset though. Ghosts are on a bit of a tear in Pro League so far, really looking to gun and stay their way into the top 6. So hopefully they're looking to try to get a 1-1. You know, you can sort of lose a map once you're up that many victories in a row, and hopefully they try to take Inferno off of compLexity. They are definitely very capable of playing it, and you don't want to be dropping 0-2s to, obviously compLexity is a team that's well up to the caliber to be able to contest Ghost, but in terms of the standings, compLexity is like way down here, Ghost is like way up here. So standings wise, you don't want to be making those two things closer if possible.
No, you certainly don't. And here's something that you can do though, if you're at home and you want to make your way to Pro League. Maybe it won't happen quickly, but the first step for you is to make your way into Mountain Dew League. So if you'd like to go play in MDL, you can make your way into Pro League eventually if you're good enough and you make it through all the relegations. That is what United did this season. They won MDL last season and now they're into Pro League and not doing too badly either. They've got themselves a few wins on the board, so maybe a path for any potential future pro gamers out there.
Yeah, 100%. Unless you're like me and you go like 6-13 or something, but we won't discuss that.
Is that KD or win-loss?
Win-loss.
I feel like it could have been either.
Good old forfeiting every game. Feels good.
Oh, feels bad. But that said, we are going to go to a quick break now. We'll be back very soon with map number 2. It will be Inferno between Ghost and compLexity. Don't go anywhere.